Hi everyone. So today we are going to have a little unboxing video on the Kamado Tanjiro plastic model kit figurine from Bandai that they have done based on the Demon Slayer anime series. It's actually the first figurine from this anime series that Bandai has produced. So without further ado, let's get started on the unboxing. So the side box art shows tries to tell you that this is going to be a very easy build, so it will be good for beginners. Here you see Tanjiro in various poses. Looks very dynamic, and what they are proud of, particularly in this product, is the details on his face. So as I mentioned, this character is from the Demon Slayer anime series. As I mentioned earlier, the key feature of this kit is its detailed facial features, as well as the dynamic clothing that you don't have to paint. It comes pre-painted. So now let's see what's in the box. In the first bag, we have a multicolored sprue as well as a sticker. The second bag contains the knife, or katana rather, the sword. The third bag has the front of his Tanjiro's face. The fourth bag has the insides of his face. The fifth bag, as well as the sixth bag, contains all the pieces that make up Tanjiro's checkered pattern cloak. And the final bag has the clothing that he wears as a Demon Slayer. So now let's have a look at the instructional pamphlet. These are the sprues that came with the kit, laid out in systematic order for you to see when you are doing your build. The build starts off with the head as well as the upper half of the clothing, or body rather. This is followed by both arms, the lower half of the body as well as the legs, before the final assembly process. It's a very simple guide. It's supposed to be beginner friendly. I guess that's why the build is a very simple one. Looks to be a very simple one. So now I just put everything back into the box. That has been just a quick glance at what comes with the Kamado Tanjiro plastic model kit figurine. Now we'll move on to have a look at in more detail at all the runners and sprues, to see the qualities and to see which parts that I will likely paint and those that I would not. So now let's get started. So now that we know roughly what comes with this Kamado Tanjiro plastic model kit, let's take a closer and detailed look at the various runners and sprues that have been included with the kit. So we are going to start off our detailed inspection with runner or sprue A and B. Now both these sprues is going to form Tanjiro's face. There's some multicolored injection into the face. For example, the scars is in a brown color. The eyebrows have been painted, and the part sprue B that I'm holding holds his eyes, which is very detailed and has clear red plastic molding injected into it. From what I can see, I most likely will have to put some flesh-colored shading on his cheeks or in between his nose especially, to bring out a more lifelike quality to his facial features. So now let's move on to runners or sprue C. Let's take a closer look at these various parts of the sprue. starting off with the flesh colored section. Now this contains the hands as well as the neck and the back of the head. Then we have the white parts which form the clothing on the leg, the wrappings around the leg as well as the belt. That shiny part you see there is for the hilt of the sword and the end of the sword scabbard. And then these parts you see here are for the hair. Now I believe some panel lining and paint work will have to be done on the parts as well as some dry brushing of pastels. I will go into this in more detail at the assembly and painting stage. So now let's move on to runner or sprue D, which is another multicolored sprue. Now it contains the brown parts for the clothing that he wears as a part of the Demon Slayer corps. This sprue also contained white parts for the soles of Tanjiro's shoes or sandals, as well as a pinkish red flesh colored piece for the sort of a mouthpiece for Tanjiro's face, as well as some black parts for the sword scabbard and hilt. These are a close-up view of the various sections of this multicolored sprue. So now let's move on to sprue D2, which contains just the sword or katana. Now, as the story goes, Tanjiro has a black sword, but it's more of a black metallic sword, so I might have to do some metallic painting or dry brushing on the edges of the sword to make the details pop. Following this, the parts that are left are the various pieces that make up Tanjiro's checkered pattern cloak. The wonderful thing about this kit is that this checkered pattern has come pre-painted, and the way they have painted it out or printed it out, or rather molded the colors into this checkered pattern, is such that it flows with the dynamic curves of the cloak, and I don't see any further work needed to be done apart from just assembling the cloak. The finishing is in a nice kind of semi-gloss to matte finish, which is very fitting for the material that I presume the cloak has. So this then are the various runners and sprues. A close and detailed look at the various runners and sprues that came with this Bandai Kamado Tanjiro plastic model kit figurine. With that, there's just one thing left to look at, which is the stickers that came with the kit. Now, for sure, I'll be using some of the stickers. For example, the character behind his back of his clothing, the stickers for the earrings, as well as the hilt of the sword. Those I will definitely be using, while the rest of the stickers, instead of placing the stickers on the parts as mentioned in the instructions, I will mostly paint the parts instead. So then, these are all the stuff that came with the Bandai Kamado Tanjiro plastic model figurine. So now while I'm putting the runners and sprues as well as the pamphlet and stickers back into the box, I will just roughly recap what I plan to do with this plastic model kit figurine. So for Tanjiro, from what I can gather at the glance at the sprues that has come with the box, I believe I would have to paint some of the parts or panel line them at least, as well as do some pastel dry brushing in order to bring out the details or to ensure that the parts are color accurate. While you could get away with just a straight out of the box build without doing any work at all on the figurine apart from placing the stickers onto the kit. I believe that just with a little bit extra effort, this kit can really look very good, better than what it is meant to be based on just placing stickers onto the inaccurate color parts. Thus, going forward, I'll be doing a little bit of painting, a little bit of panel lining, a little bit of dry brushing, and I guess as well as using the stickers where it is applicable, meaning where the stickers do not stand out and make the kit look very plasticky and toy-like. Those parts I will use stickers on. In total, I guess that is what I am going to do for this Kamado Tanjiro Demon Slayer project. So there you have it, just a quick unboxing of the Bandai Kamado Tanjiro plastic model kit figurine from the Demon Slayer series. Following this unboxing video, the next part that I'm going to do will be to show you the details that I had worked on, as well as to assemble Tanjiro before showing you the completed figurine. But for now, that's all for the unboxing of the Kamado Tanjiro figurine. I will be seeing you in the next part, and thank you so much for watching, and do have a great day.